Doubted yourself, felt like you didn't belong, felt like you was being an imposter. In this video, I will talk about my experience with self-doubt and why self-doubt is okay. I wanted to insert this clip because many of you guys may see me doing these videos and you may think that, I don't experience certain things, okay? Self-doubt still tends to come up at times, okay? Just yesterday, I received the download to go to downtown Jersey City, okay? And I used to live downtown Jersey City, which is really, really predominantly like you could see the wealth, okay? All right. And it's so many condos. It's like condos with pools. It's really, really beautiful. And just yesterday, okay, when I decided to go down there to listen to my intuition, I experienced self-doubt, okay? As I was walking, it was like this chatter. You don't belong here, And that's why I did the video that I did yesterday, all right? Saying you belong, okay? We all have choices. If we are going to allow the chatter in our mind to stop us from doing the thing that we know we are capable of doing and what we deserve, okay? Or you can keep playing it safe. But I'm here to tell you got greatness within you. Let the video roll. Peace, family. Peace, 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 peace. I hope you guys are having such an amazing day. Honey, I'm over here cooking, okay? I wanted to do this video pertaining to self-doubt, okay? Many times when we hear people say, you're not supposed to doubt yourself. You're not supposed to, feel that way about yourself. And even myself, I have said that in the past, okay? Self-doubt. The reason why you are going through self-doubt is, one, because chances are you are doing something new, okay? I remember when I had, for the first time, went to Toastmasters. I had joined Bob Proctor's program, his mentoring, and I remember one of the questions I asked was, how could I become a public speaker? And one of the things Bob Proctor said was for me to join Toastmasters, right? So I call up different Toastmasters in my area, and this one Toastmaster had got back to me, and I started going to the Toastmaster. But I remember that day so vividly, so clear, that I didn't think that I was going to speak that day. But I also was a little nervous. I was a little afraid, a little scared. The reason being was because I didn't know anybody there. Okay, that was one. The next thing is imposter syndrome. Whenever you're going to do something new and different, okay, you will have all this chatter going on in your mind. You don't belong. What makes you think that you're good enough? You're not qualified. There's nobody who look like you, all the chatter that goes on in your mind. I'm gonna need for you to still do it, okay? Oftentimes, the reason why we get so distracted is because we focusing on the other person or the people. We paying attention so much to them that we take our focus on the message that we need to deliver or the thing that we need to do. So I get to Toastmasters, and I remember it was about 7 people in a room. It was like in a library, okay, and so when I got downstairs to the room that the Toastmasters it was held in, I remember, the people who was in the room, and I just thought that I was there just to hear other people speak. But as I was sitting down, I don't know if you guys ever did Toastmasters, right? So there's questions. You have to give a speech based upon the question that is being asked. And so I remember I wanted to go, right, to speak, but I was nervous, a little nervous to say the least. But I wanted to get out of the fear, so I decided to go and speak. Now, when I stood up and started speaking, I still had like these thoughts and ideas that was roaming and ruminating in my mind. And, I just went to a place where, as though, when I first had my first spiritual awakening, right? And I told that story, and I got a standing ovation. The reason you have all the self-doubt is because you may have heard time and time again how you wasn't qualified, right? I told some of you guys that I had a guy who I used to talk to back in the day. And I remember I gave him this ultimatum about, if we can't be in a relationship, then we're not going to be able to have fun. Okay. All right. And one of the things he said to me was, you think I would get in a relationship with a person that speak like you, or a person that talk like you, right? And I felt, some type of way. I felt like, I wasn't smart enough. I felt like, what gave me the right to give this guy an ultimatum? It was like all this self-doubt chatter going on in my mind. Okay. Another time, I had self-doubt, and it was like this. I'm gonna give you guys a few examples. Okay. When I first started social media, making content and uploading videos, right? Speaking from my experience, I remember my first video that I did for YouTube, and I had self-doubt going on in my head. And I felt like, who gives you the right to make these videos telling people how to change their lives? And although I did the work and I was doing the work, but it was like all this chatter that was coming up. But how I was able to get over this self-doubt and imposter syndrome was by stepping into radical action and doing the thing that I was a little afraid, a little nervous to do. The reason why you may have self-doubt also is because you stepping into the unknown. You're doing something that you never had done before. And oftentimes, you may not know exactly what to expect, okay? Another time, I remember, like it was yesterday, I was in my car listening to personal development. And you know how you listen to something that moves you so much that you like, I want to take radical action. I'm going to set up my goals. I'm going to execute my goals. I'm going to do that thing. Today is a new, improved version of myself, right? And you get so excited, right? It's just like, I can't wait to do the thing. And that's how I felt. And the thing was for me to give my first speaking engagement on my own, okay? Set up a place where people could come to hear me speak for free. And I remember like it was yesterday. My hands were sweaty, okay? I was excited at first, but then later on, the chatter started coming to my mind. And I remember I had a good friend named Thomas who I sent a message to. And I said, I'm ready to speak. I'm ready to host my first speaking engagement. And I remember Thomas called me. Texting was too good for him. He called me. He decided to call me. And it was this chatter in my mind. Don't answer. Then another part of me saying, answer the phone. The part, my higher self, the part that want to grow, the part that want to be vulnerable, right? And I remember I answered the phone and he was like, "Dad is so good, you ready?" And he told me, I was like, "Yeah, but I'm a little nervous now." It was like after I said it out loud or after I texted him, it was like, all the thoughts and everything came to me. And he said, "You got this." And I remember one thing Thomas said to me. He said, "You think the old version of Dina is not going to put up a fight with the new version of yourself?" And I knew, that I would feel discomfort, but I didn't think that I would feel as much discomfort as I was feeling. And so I had the book a haul and everything like that. That was my first time. I never knew, how to book something, an event that I was hosting. Okay. And that was like the first time that I really, really stepped out on faith and trusted the process. I remember going to pick my children up from school and knowing that I was hosting my first speaking engagement and standing outside waiting for my children to come or be dismissed from school. How nervous. And my hands was sweating, feeling a little anxiety, okay? Because for the first time I was doing something that was so different. And I remember I kept on practicing to give the speaking engagement that I gave. And I was watching YouTube videos, and it was so many speakers that would say, the reason why you may be afraid is because you're doing speaking for the first time. And then not only that, is also because you are more focused on what your audience are going to think of you as opposed to the message. So to the person that's out there, okay, if you have self-doubt, it is okay. Remember, whatever emotion that you may be experiencing, you don't want to sweep it up under the rug. Okay, you want to experience those emotions, because once you experience them, it's like you release them. You want to experience those emotions, but do the thing that you are afraid of, and I guarantee you your life will change. With that being said, I love you guys. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.